Welcome back, everybody, to the Nerdcore Podcast, the podcast that reviews movies and talks that nerd shit. This is episode 686, and it is your review of Yorgos Lanthimos Dogtooth. As we are continuing on with our Yorgos month here at the Nerdcore. As always, it is the Nerds you gonna hear the host of the show. Alongside my wonderful co-host Brad Young Yoda.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to a wonderful, wonderful Monday evening.
Yes, sir. Monday evening indeed. Live, early, and ad-free over on patreon.com/the nerdcore at the $1 tier. You get this episode live, early, and ad-free before anybody else gets to watch or listen to it on Tuesday at 12 p.m. Central Time. But before we can go ahead and get into today's review, how are you doing today, Brad?
I'm doing all right, Raul. As you can see, it's still daylight out, so you can't see all my lights. So there's that.
Is that right?
I have a lot of lights over there, and no one can see.
Yeah. It's the great thing about living in the Southwest, huh?
Yeah. The sun don't go down.
Food's good, but the sun's not going to go down for a while.
No, and it's overbearingly hot, and it's stayed hot for the past week.
Yeah.
So, and if this is how summer's going to go, I'm just staying inside.
Yeah. You know what? I just what I got a coupon for a couple of days ago on Whataburger's app.
Coupon.
What coupon do you think
was
I got?
Was it just a cup of ice?
For onion rings with a purchase of a burger.
I mean, hey,
they heard me, right?
Hey, I mean, I sent out vibes in the world.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted onion rings.
Yeah, you got onion rings, man.
And I got a lot of onion rings, and I think I'm good for the rest of the year.
And then on TikTok, on my For You page, I got this video of these guys, in Mexico, who are making I think they're around Sinaloa or something. They're making like fried chicken, and guess what they make for a side with their fried chicken?
Onion rings.
Onion rings.
Hey, that's the FBI, bro.
Yeah.
That's just the FBI.
Next thing you know, I'm gonna get one from Wingstop. Onion rings with a purchase of
onion rings. Does Wingstop even have onion rings? I thought they just had fries.
No, they don't. They should though.
I mean, their fries are fucking good though.
Anything that pairs chicken or burgers should have onion rings on their flavor.
I mean, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, onion rings are great, man.
Yeah.
But other than that, Brad, how are you doing? How do you feel about the news that Tokyo Vice has been canceled after 2 seasons too? And
what?
I forgot to bring that up yesterday.
What?
Yeah, I sent you an article.
They're killing me.
Yeah,
that's Tokyo Vice? That's HBO.
Yeah. Tokyo Vice was canceled after 2 seasons.
I mean, I'll be real here. That show probably costs a lot of money to make. I'm not going to lie. That show probably costs a lot to make. And I don't know the viewership numbers on it, but I can't imagine it being astronomical when you have like Game of Thrones and all these other shows that they have to pay for. So, I mean, I'm glad I got 2 seasons. It was a good 2 seasons. And this is just HBO being HBO because it's not the first show that's been 2 seasons and HBO's cut the cord.
Yeah. But yesterday we were live doing our review of The Acolyte episode 1 and 2. I hope you all enjoyed that. I hope that you all had a great time with that. You guys apparently did like it because you guys went ahead and you guys watched it. 11 of y'all watched it. So as always, we are keeping the same energy. I want us to get double digits on our episodes. So you gave us double digits.
Did you see one of our episodes that you were kind of sad that it was eight like a couple weeks ago is now at 10. So
yeah. You guys are finding the audience. The audience is finding it. Even though I don't quite understand y'all. I put out a poll. I put out a poll. I was like, I need to gauge some of the interest here. I need to find out what exactly our audience wants from us, or what, just to understand y'all a little bit more. It's not going to mean that I'm going to do it entirely, right? So I asked you guys, what films are you most interested in us reviewing? I put 5. I put 5 choices, Brad. I put new releases, old Hollywood, which is to me basically the 30s to the 60s, because that's when sound got introduced.
So basically before 69.
Pretty much, yeah. Basically, classic Hollywood.
Yeah.
I put new Hollywood, which is basically the 70s to the 90s.
80s, 90s.
Yeah. I also put contemporary films, which are the 2000s, 2010s to me. And on the bottom part, I put international. So 20% of y'all, so 5 of y'all voted, which, by the way, thank you guys so much for voting on that poll. You can still vote on it and tell us what you would like to see us review. 20% of y'all said you enjoyed us reviewing new releases. 20% of y'all also said that you would like to see us review New Hollywood. 40% of y'all said you guys mostly want to watch us, review contemporary films. Now, I would believe that if, The Lobster wasn't sitting at 2 views right now.
Yeah, The Lobster. I mean, but granted, though, we did a 2003 international film.
And, well, then again, Brad, 20% of y'all said that you guys wanted us to review more international films.
Okay.
So you guys are there. A lot of y'all not really wanting everywhere. Old Hollywood.
I mean, but we got a lot of views on the Charlie Chaplin stuff, so
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I would really like to understand you all a little bit more, man. I
don't know why nobody likes The Lobster.
Yeah. I wonder why. Watch us get like 30 views on this one, Brad.
Yeah. I would not be surprised on this one, to be fair.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think early Yorgos is gonna get a little bit more of their attention, especially this type of subject matter. So I'm gonna guess they would like to hear what our takes on this. But Brad, I had a pretty busy day today, man. I'm pretty sore right now. Not much going on over here though. Just same old. Luis brought over some leftovers from his sister's graduation party and been steadily going through those. Yeah. And I had some of the chocolate dipped strawberries that he dropped off here too. Yeah. But other than that, man, not much going on here, man. We have a crazy week ahead of us here. Brad's like, hey man, when does this drop? When does that drop? And I'm like, get ready, man, because on Tuesday Acolyte drops. Thursday you have 3 episodes of The Boys, and then on Sunday you have
holy God, 3 episodes of The Boys on one. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't know why they decided to drop 3 on us, but yeah. But if we went episodically the way that MCU's Bleeding Edge does it, then we're gonna be here for a while, Brad.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jeff though.
Shout out to Jeff. I don't think we can do that.
Yeah. I I can do an episode every now and again. So I'll be on that next Wednesday to go over Acolyte episode 3.
Yeah. So Brad, with that said, you want to do this, Brad? I think I'd be remiss if we don't just get into this because I think that's what they want.
Yeah, I think we should just go into it.
All right, man. So if you haven't seen Dogtooth, you should get out of here if you care about spoilers. But if you don't care about spoilers or you've already seen the film, go ahead and stay. Either way, how it goes, this is your one and only spoiler warning, and it is in effect in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Today's episode of the Nerd Court is brought to you by SeatGeek. Whether you want to see your favorite band, sports team, or comedian, SeatGeek has you covered. We're proud to be partnering with SeatGeek to offer you $10 off your first order with code TheNerdCourt. That's $10 off your first order at SeatGeek.com with code THENERDCORPS. So take a seat at your next live event with SeatGeek. Thank you. Now let's get back to today's video. I'm gonna do a mix of what Brad did last week for The Lobster. Oh, not for The Lobster. For Goodbye Dragon Inn.
Yeah.
Because we're pretty scarce here with some information on the Wikipedia page.
Yeah, Wikipedia is not doing a good job with these.
Yeah. So this is from KinoLorber.com, which, by the way, you can get a Blu-ray of this half off at BarnesandNobles.com right now. You don't have to pay for the $27.96 right now. It's on Kino Lorber's site. Graceful, enigmatic, and often frightening, Dogtooth is an ingenuous dark comedy that won the Prix Un Certain Regard at the 2009 Cannes Film Festival, propelling Yorgos Lanthimos to the forefront of contemporary cinema's most ambitious young filmmakers. In an effort to protect their 3 children from the corrupting influence of the outside world, a Greek couple transforms their home into a gated compound of cultural deprivation and strict rules of behavior. But children cannot remain innocent forever. When the father brings home a young woman to satisfy his son's sexual urges, the family's engineered reality, don't want to burp into the microphone, begins to crumble with devastating consequences, like the haunting dystopic visions of Michael Haneke and Gaspar Noé. Dogtooth punctuates its compelling drama with moments of shocking violence, creating a biting social satire that is as profound as it is provocative. Of course, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos, psychological drama film directed by Yorgos Lanthimos, written by Lanthimos and Eftimis Philippou. The film is about a husband and wife played by Christos Sturgilo and Michelle Valley. The children Angeliki Pupulia,
That's a
uh,
mouthful.
Christos Pazalis, and Marit Soni, ignorant of the world outside the property, well into adulthood. And of course, it was nominated for Best Foreign Language at the 83rd Academy Awards. And it's shot by Timios Bukatakis, edited by Yorgos Mavrosardis, and sits at an hour and 37 minutes on a budget of 250,000 euros. It made $1.4 million at the box office. What is that? Well, you have to adjust it for inflation, right? You know, euros to dollars.
Yeah.
What is that? It was 240K, right?
250,000 euros. So it's
250.
probably close to 300, 350.
Basically, it is about 26,900 and oh no, I'm
200,
sorry,
250,000.
200. Yeah, well, actually, like around like hold on, 250K, right, Brett?
Well, and you have to adjust it for 2009, and the euro was actually really strong
Yeah,
comparative to the dollar at that time.
yeah. But roughly compared to our what's it called to our measures today, basically is around 269,172
Yeah.
dollars and 50 cents, which
Yep.
made that and then some.
I mean,
Yeah,
you double that money for I don't know.
inflation.
I don't know what advertising I was thinking,
Yeah,
but I don't know how much you would advertise this movie.
yeah. I mean, there's some that you can do. I mean,
I mean,
yeah,
yeah, sure.
yeah. Marketing is an incredible, Brad. Like you're watching right now, like they're putting like banners and stuff all over like different castles in the world for House of the Dragon. Like it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Well, they got
Um,
all that money after canceling.
Tokyo Vice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got money now. Don't have to fly Ansel out to fucking Tokyo.
Yeah. Brad, I've seen this film before, so I'm gonna go ahead and what's it called? Let you take this one. But Brad, what are your initial thoughts on Dogtooth?
So start off, I've never seen this movie. I don't think I'd ever heard of this movie, so this was completely walking into this blind. Thanks, Roll. Um,
You're welcome.
other than it being a Yorgos movie, so I knew like
Yeah.
probably gonna be weird, in some form. And honestly, when I first started watching this, like the first 5-10 minutes, the way it started off, I'm like, oh god, I'm watching someone's student art film they did in college, because it starts out and they're speaking and they're like naming shit that isn't the exact name for something, and they're doing like a recording and they're listening to this recording and it's like light bulb means like milk, or or something like that. I don't know. So that's how it started out, and I'm just like questioning it. I'm like, what the fuck is Roll making watch? But as this film progressed, it becomes clear what this film is, and it's a goddamn nightmare.
I think your dad is bad.
Yeah, you think your dad is bad. You think your parents are bad. I mean, and not saying that some aren't worse than these, but these are psychos for parents. But honestly, this goddamn, this is a rush of a movie. Let's be real. And I mean, I mean, it's got some stuff in there that 2009. I mean, I've been questioning to put that in the film, but Yorgos knocks it out of the park. Honestly, this is a really good film.
When it comes to the international, Brad, they're not. they don't care.
No,
Hey,
no. I mean
we're
the
much more prudes over here when it comes to
yes.
what's in our movies. Yeah,
Yes, but still the whole like the whole family dynamic in this,
yeah.
especially towards
Putting
the
that
end.
lightly, by the way.
Yeah,
Calling it
yeah.
a dynamic is
Family
lightly.
dynamic. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um yes. So I mean like it's a really great film. For some people, I don't know how they're going to take it, but I think from just a perspective of watching the film and seeing like the cinematography, the story, the dialogue, I think as it progresses, you just realize just how dysfunctional this fucking film is. And these people are, and he's built something around like something that probably doesn't get talked about a lot is like what happens behind, you know,
closed doors.
closed doors and
Yeah,
behind big walls, and you don't know what's happening in a household.
yeah. Um, I love this movie, man. I'm glad that I rewatched it. I don't think it's bad. I think I like this. I don't like this as much as I like The Lobster or Poor Things. This is definitely to me top three of what's it called Yorgos has made. But to me, I finally because before this, Dogtooth was The Lobster was my favorite film from Yorgos. But what's it called? I had watched Poor Things and I was like, oh, maybe it's Poor Things, but I hadn't rewatched The Lobster in so much time. But having finally what's it called rewatched this one in The Lobster, I'm like, yeah, I think I'm comfortable saying that Poor Things is my favorite film that Yorgos has made. But man, his early career really shows a lot of strength and a lot of promise because this movie, it's very much like it. Once you're strapped in, you are strapped in, and you're not gonna want to look away from the screen. Like it is so hard to watch these scenes of like animal cruelty, um, you know, a father taping a video cassette to his hand and slapping the shit out of his
No,
daughter,
no, not slapping, like fucking
beating the
beating the
shit out of
shit
his
out of her,
yeah,
and then beating the other woman with a VCR.
yeah. Which it's like the sexual stuff is probably the least intense stuff, even though it's very disturbing. But like, I'd like to think that getting the shit beat out of you with a freaking VCR cassette tape
I mean
is oh man,
the oh, I'm not gonna beat around the bush, but the incest in there
yeah,
is probably the most disturbing of the movie. That whole thing of like choose which sister. It's like no, just
yeah,
no. But these kids haven't been raised any different. They don't know right from wrong. They just know what their parents have told them.
yeah.
So it's a
I
very
mean,
interesting, like I said, dynamic.
translating the Frank Sinatra song, and it's like
Yeah,
that's not at all what
that's
it's
not
Frank
at
is
all
saying.
like Frank is not your grandpa. Um, he will deny that to the grave. Um,
I forgot that that's how that scene went because I was like, "What is he gonna? Is he gonna go play like his grandfather singing?" And once that note starts for "Flying to the Moon," I'm like, "You fucking bastard! You
you
fucking bastard!"
asshole.
Yeah,
I mean, this is I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it Nightmare Wes Anderson. That's how I feel about it.
I guess, yeah. I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
It's so good though, man. Like the music, like just angles that Yorgos chooses for the movie, and like there's that shot where like they're having sex, but you're only seeing like this part up here of the girl's face, but in the mirror you see
yeah.
the guy. What's it called? You see the brother, and it's like oh my god, like you still find ways to
Or
make this
or
even more like get
or
under my skin.
or in the bathtub when he
Yeah,
has his eyes closed and he's groping him, and it's just like, mm, this is uncomfortable at
yeah,
the least for sure.
yeah.
Um,
Did what's it called? Did Brenda walk in on you watching this one?
no, actually, so I
No,
don't
she
think
didn't
so.
ask what
No, I
weird
think she's
shit.
become used to just
Yeah,
random shit on my television.
yeah.
I did have a question. Is most of Yorgos's movie endings open ended like that? Because
Mm,
The Lobster was open ended.
Poor Things isn't open ended.
No, no.
No. Um, trying to remember what because the last ones I've seen from him, but I don't think it's that open ended. I don't think so. I think the favorite ends pretty set in stone as well. I'm not sure, Brad. I can't remember at the top of my head,
Yeah.
but at least recently I know that Poor Things isn't what's it called.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know the most recent review was Lobster, and that was another open ended one. at
Yeah.
the end there. And this one, you're kind of left with, she probably dies in the trunk.
Yeah.
Probably.
But man, he's so good at these like black comedies, man. Like it is it is so like what's it called? Disturbing, but there's like I can't help but laugh
I mean, the
at the
airplane,
girl like
the
the
airplane
airplane
scene, the mother throwing
or
the
the girl
airplane.
like doing the flash dance.
Oh
What's it
yeah,
called? Number and their parents are like all disturbed, but it's like motherfucker, you know what you're making these kids do?
yeah. Like,
These your children do,
and then
and
and
like
then and then he's just completely lying about his whole family to his office. Like,
yeah
yeah, my wife's in a wheelchair, and yeah, she can't leave the house. Um,
yeah yeah. Well, a bunch of bullshit. um, but fantastic movie, man. I gotta say, I was I'm always I was so drawn to it at first when I watched it. And on this rewatch, I'm like, this still holds up for me. I think it's still a great movie, and I think that it's different. It's very
yeah,
much weird, but like Yorgos is so good at this feeling of discomfort that also feels very important to the story. So
I agree in every sense that you just said. So I think it was a great watch. Considering I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and I'm glad it didn't end up being the college art film that I was
no,
expecting from the beginning, and it turned into something like that makes you think.
yeah, Brad, this is his third movie, by the way.
Yeah, I
So
know that.
I was like, what's it called? When you really feel like what's it called? You're like, oh, it's probably like a college film. It's like, oh man, this is like his third try in already,
Yeah,
bro. Like,
well, and I mean the first 5 to 10 minutes because it starts out like that is because you have just people weirdly reading off fucking whatever dialogue that was.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, he's so good with his writing, man, and he's so good with like building the atmosphere of his movie. Like,
Yeah,
there
Yorgos
really
is
is a way of like he has a way of getting under your skin.
yeah, Yorgos is kind of world building in a way. I mean, I don't think I've seen many other director do such a thing like he does.
Yeah, yeah, no, not at all, man. I'm like I said, like I'm just excited for what he continues to make because I think that not a lot of people got it like him, man. And whatever it is, he's got it, man. And he's had it since like 2009 to me, because this movie is that good, man.
Well, he kind of, I mean, important thing, like he continues to find different avenues and different stories to tell
Yeah,
that I would like in my mind, I don't know how I would have even thought up to write
approach
something
that,
like
yeah.
that.
And I liked how he's like, what's it called? Doesn't just kind of makes the he makes it important to be like, the parents aren't the only one who manipulate and like take advantage of their kids. Like this woman who's coming in,
Yeah,
to what's it called, satisfy her son. Like she also has her motives, ulterior motives, and she's like, okay, well, if I can't get what I want out of the son, I will go ahead and manipulate the daughter
the
and get what
daughter.
I want out of her.
Yeah, so when she kind of got beat with the VCR, it was like, I mean, all right, kind of maybe a little too much, but like I
Yeah,
kind of get it.
yeah,
Kind of get it from the dad, even though the dad's a complete and total fucking
psycho.
psychotic
Yeah.
asshole.
Well,
Um,
you can tell the mom kind of doesn't agree with all of this either. Like
but
she's
she
kind of
goes
like
along with it.
she goes along with it,
Yeah,
but she doesn't really like agree with it because she's like, oh, like there's that one time where like he's like, where are you? Like I haven't seen you all day. Like you haven't done this. It's like, she feels bad for her kids, but she's allowing it to happen.
yeah. She's an enabler. She hasn't like any. I would feel like it's an abusive relationship she's in.
Yeah,
Mentally and probably physically, because I think any woman with the
oh
ability to after at some point before these kids are like in their 20s or 30s, which I think most of these kids were getting to their 20s, would
yeah,
run out the store screaming with their kids and inform the police. And that's the thing
yeah,
is like when the elder daughter, because that's what he calls her, he doesn't even call her by her name, he just calls her the elder one. um when she fucking is seen missing, he goes to work like it don't even matter. Like,
no,
like, what's she gonna do? She gonna tell someone?
yeah.
She doesn't even
Well,
know
it's
like
gonna believe her.
like what a fuck a light bulb is.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think with the ending, Brad? Well, like the same thing I asked you with the lobster, right? Do you think that she gets out of there?
So,
Or
so the thing is, because I was looking at it, and I because they stop right there on the trunk, and I'm like, that is a older Mercedes, like from the '80s, and I
yeah,
have no idea if they had an opener for
in the
inside
in
the
the
trunk,
inside,
which I
yeah,
don't think they did. So I'm thinking she probably dies in that trunk.
I think so too. Because she doesn't know how to get out, and when she gets out, how is she going to interact with the world?
Yeah.
She
So
doesn't understand how the world works.
she'll be back at her parents because her dad will probably say, "Oh, she's crazy."
Or worse, is somebody else will be there to take advantage of her.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah. So
because
it's just
really,
it's this
which
everlasting cycle.
and maybe that's what the ending of this film is trying to state is like she was trapped in that house, she's trapped in that trunk, she's trapped. Even if she gets out, she's trapped in her own
Yeah.
fucking box that her father made
Yeah.
because she doesn't know any better.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's people who've lived this life before, Brad. I mean, what's
Oh,
it called?
being manipulated by your parents?
Yeah.
No,
No, right? No, I'm talking more of like,
I don't know to this
kept
extent.
into a like secluded area and told like
Oh,
this
yeah.
is that, like
I mean, there's plenty
don't
of
watch
cults.
this.
Yeah, there's plenty of cults out there.
Yeah, yeah. But Brad, what's your final verdict on this one, Brad?
Crap. What did we give? What did we give the lobster? And I think we gave Poor Things a 10.
I was super close to a 10 for Poor
Yeah,
Things,
I
man.
think
I think I gave Poor
nine and
Things
a half or
a
10.
9.5, Brad.
Yeah, and then the lobster. What do we give? 8.5, 9.
I mean, I got it at a 4.5 out of 5. Roughly, I'd say like the lobster is like a 9 point. What's it called? 0.25. I think
Okay.
I feel comfortable giving this a 9.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll stick with that. Nine sound good. That's what I was trying to figure out because I'm in also agreement that I prefer Poor Things and the lobster over this one. But this is like a
yeah,
really good like. This is some fucking nightmare fuel. This is like a
yeah.
really good movie.
What did I give this one? What did I give? What's it called?
I just feel like there might be some pacing here and there, nothing big, but you
Yeah,
know, and I mean, if I hadn't seen The Lobster and Poor Things, I might think differently on just because after watching those, you know what he can do cinematographically or with
oh yeah,
cinematography.
yeah, yeah. Um, what did I give? What's it called? Poor Things. I give Poor Things a 9. You're crazy though. What's it called? That's more above. That's above a 9. Yeah, yeah. Poor Things is above. Poor Things had a lot of time to sit with me. Poor
Yeah,
Things is well above a 9.
Poor Things got a lot going on with that film.
Yeah, yeah. But like, and it's he's kept so much of this energy and like these themes running throughout the rest of his career, where it's like you see a lot of Dogtooth in Poor Things as well.
Yeah,
So you know,
I mean, he to me is like the new generation kind of Tim Burton in a way. Like he makes weird fucking movies. That's his
I'd
thing.
say even more like up there with David Lynch.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I consider any of his movies as weird as like Eraserhead.
No,
But you know, yeah, they're weird movies, but they're good weird movies. So I can
yeah,
respect that. I mean, if
yeah,
you're making bad weird movies, that's one thing. But if you're making good weird movies that actually kind of convey a message, and all
yeah,
of them do kind of convey a message if you look into them. I
yeah.
mean, he's doing great.
He's doing great, man. Yeah. To put it plainly, guys, he's got the sauce.
It's got the sauce, bro.
Yeah.
Can't miss. Is this another one that can't miss?
I don't know. We'll see how the rest of the month goes. But that concludes our review of Dogtooth. As always, we thank you guys so much for joining us here. We can go ahead and check us out at thenerdcore.com, Twitter at the Nerdcore underscore, Instagram at the Nerdcore, TikTok is at the Nerdcore, Patreon.com/the Nerdcore for all your exclusive content, early content, and all that wonderful stuff. Discord link is in the description below. If you're watching this on YouTube, in the comments, tell us what's your favorite Yorgos Lanthimos movie and what do you think about Dogtooth? Do you own that Blu-ray from Kino Lorber? Let us know all of that in the comments. Click that subscribe button and also the notification bell so you don't miss another review during our Yorgos month. Leave a like on this video because it helps us all out so much. Also, if you're on the audio side of things, make sure that you're following us on your favorite podcast app of choice and you're leaving a 5-star review on that podcast app. It could help us out tremendously as well. Also, we want to thank our patrons because they make this possible. Without them, none of it happens. Thank you guys so much for your continued help and being here for us. Brad, can you tell them about our wonderful producer Shane? Where can you find him?
You can follow our friend Shane at twitch.tv/XSRK or on Twitter at thriftedil or go buy something from the Suppy God at prisoncityvintage.com.
Yep. Full steam ahead next week with more Yorgos Lanthimos. But for now, we'll be back for another review on Thursday as what's called live on and early on Patreon as we celebrate the release of Richard Linklater's newest film, Hitman, with a review of Dazed and Confused. And of course, we're going to keep continuing on with all the other reviews dropping this week. We got so much going on.
We got to tell about our Wednesday, though, for our Patreon.
Yeah. Wednesday, we're starting our new TV show that we're going to be doing what's called watch-alongs for. That is Riz Ahmed in the night of from HBO. So go ahead and check that out on the $5 tier on Patreon. That's going to be on Wednesday for the $5 patrons and above. And of course, Thursday, what's called Dazed and Confused, releases on Saturday at 12 p.m. Friday is for The Acolyte. We'll be live 8:30 p.m. Central Time for our review of The Acolyte episode 3 on this channel as well. Along with Saturday,
Saturday is for the boys.
Saturday is for the boys. What's called season 4. Episodes 1 through 3 will be reviewed on Saturday.
Why are you dropping 3 episodes on me?
Yeah. And then Sunday, right after House of the Dragon, season 2, episode 1 drops, and we finish watching it, we will be live for our review of that episode.
And you guys need to be here.
Yes.
Here live with us.
Yes, live on our YouTube, on our Twitch, and on our Twitter, as we've been doing it for the last couple ones. So we hope that y'all enjoyed that. We hope you guys are ready for possibly one of the busiest months ahead of us here. But for now, that's all we got going on. Brand, let's go ahead and send them out of here.
All right, Raul. Thank you for being host as always. Thank you to all those who joined us in future chats. Stacy must be watching Raw or something. Thank you to our listeners out there, our Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. And to end this episode, don't let your brother fail at his training or he will be killed by a house cat. Young Yoda out. Stop throwing cake over the fence at your brother. It's not nice.
Pussy doesn't mean light lamp.